Welcome back to the Insufferable Grifter Show. I'm your host, Mulan Throneberry, and today here I have one of the funniest people in North Alabama, in the Southeast, actually in the world. This person is hilarious. Okay, I have Min Akins. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Hi, I'm Min. I was adopted as a wee lad. I was raised as a white little child, and I have Tourette Syndrome, but I have metal in my brain and chest to help with that, so it's a little less now than it used to be. Did I say I was raised by white people?
You said you were raised as a white person, not by... I have the thing clicking on the thing. Keep talking.
I was raised by white people, and once I told a coworker that, and she said, "I'm so sorry."
Was your coworker Asian? Or
no.
Was your coworker white?
No.
I'm just gonna name all of the races. I'm like, were they Puerto Rican?
No. I have actually no idea what this woman's race was, but she asked me, "Do you do nails?" Because she wanted me to do her nails.
Do you do nails?
No. And I was like, no. And she's like, "What'd you have for lunch? That smelled real good." And I had instant ramen that I got from the shelf because this was at a grocery store. And she's like, "Man, you people know how to cook."
No, you people is crazy.
And I was like, "Honey, remember when we had that potluck a week ago? I brought deviled eggs."
They're angel eggs, actually. We don't say the devil's name in this household.
I don't know. What everyone was farting in it was not angel-like. I think that came from down under.
See what I mean? Funniest person alive.
I'm just full of shit. Probably because I eat deviled eggs.
All right, so how did we meet? You want to tell the fans, all 12 of them, how we met?
I met Mulan in a support group.
That makes it sound so sad.
So we met in a Chinese adoption support group, which was basically a bunch of white people who had gotten Asian babies off Temu, and then they needed support because they're like, "I'm a white bitch and I need help raising these Asian children," which was mainly girls, and I think there was maybe 3 boys.
Yeah.
And then the parents gathered around, said sob stories, reminisce about adoption that happened years ago, and the kids were all stuck together, and we had nothing to do, and we didn't know these people, and we didn't like them. And then Mulan and I were like, "Man, these bitches be crazy," and that was how we met.
Period. Yeah, I haven't posted it yet, but I had Zoe on here a while ago. Zoe's another person that I think by the time I post this, that episode will be out. But if I'm still procrastinating on editing it, then it will be out soon.
Are you just making your way through the North Alabama Asians? Just every Asian.
Yeah.
So if you're Asian in North Alabama, please contact Mulan.
Yeah, I'm running out, man. I've got 2, and there's 2 left, and one of them's your sister. I don't know what to do. But yeah,
my sister could talk about motherhood and Bluey.
Her baby's adorable. Her baby is
I love her
adorable.
baby. You know what she said to me the other day? Well, actually, not. This was when she was 6 months old, but Everly has a really big head.
I did too when I was.
But that is because her daddy has a really big head. Just ask Anna. She pushed her out. And but we were at a seafood Glibby's in Prizeville.
I don't think I know.
It's a great place. And it's fried food and fish. I don't know. But everyone, because I was holding Everly because she was tired, and I was walking around with her and everything, and everyone kept mistaking Everly for my kid.
Oh, nice.
It was 3 different families in a row, and then when we said, "Oh no, that's I'm Aunt, this is my sister's kid," and everyone's like, "Oh, but you look just alike," and stuff. You must have gotten her genes, and we're like, "We're not even biologically related." And then Anna in the parking lot said, "I spent 9 months of misery just to create someone that looks like my ugly little sister." And now,
oh my God.
And now Everly is 16, 15, 15, 16, 14? I don't know. She's a year and a half old, and she acts a lot like me. And Anna's like, what have I done?
Bean, get away. Allergies, come here.
I'm allergic to you, and I might eat you.
That got him going. He's also, Siamese cats give off less of like the allergen, because I'm also allergic to cats, but like I live with them, so obviously like it's not affecting me that much, so you should be fine. Because you know it's like the stuff in their spit, and then they like lick themselves, because that's like what cats do. So you're not actually allergic to the fur, it's the stuff in their saliva, but Siamese cats give off less of it. He's an Asian king.
You're named after conjoined twins.
Okay.
My sister
Yes.
hates that her daughter looks like me and now acts like me.
I have not met the baby yet, but I'm friends with Anna on Facebook. I see the pictures. Very cute.
I'm so happy there's a family member more dramatic than me now.
Slay.
And also who still finds me entertaining.
I find you entertaining. This has been fun.
We're not family members.
Well, we look like we could be. According to the people who are on here, they think we all look alike. So it's like...
Oh my gosh, I got roasted by my student the other day because he wanted to pick sticker from the sticker store. I'm like, oh, he's like, I want to pick one out for you, and we're like, okay, go for it. He picked out Mushu because I looked like Mulan.
Period.
And then I went to go play Magic the Gathering. I'm a nerd, and then there was a very drunk man just watching the Titanic and crying
At the school?
at Current.
Oh, I was like, you're saying that so casually.
No, at Current Coffee and Collectibles, there was a man like watching the Titanic and sobbing to Celine Dion.
That's valid.
But then I walk up and he was like, yo, you look just like Bruce Lee. Which as someone who is generally very androgynous of how they dress, I do love that I was mistaken both for Mulan and Bruce Lee in the same day, because both of them can kick people's ass.
Period. Do people, this kind of happens to me a lot. Like, do people ever come up to you and just be like, my father served, or I guess at this point, grandfather served in Vietnam.
Yes, that happened to us at a Cracker Barrel.
What a perfect place for that to have happened at.
But like, no, it was when Anna and I were like children.
Yeah.
Children. And we like went up to a man, I think he was in a wheelchair, and we were just like, oh, you have a wheelchair, and blah, blah, blah. And this guy who had a Vietnam like hat or whatever said, last time I saw someone that looked like you, I was shooting them.
Oh my god.
I laughed.
What do you even say to that? You were children, right?
Yeah.
What do you even say to that?
My mother shooed us away and my dad was armed, so.
That's so Cracker Barrel. That's so... I think of a lot of the people that are watching this we probably know in real life. But if you don't know us, we're in Alabama. If you couldn't tell from that story.
Also, I'm told I sound very Southern, much to my mother's dismay.
Yeah, okay, you know the weatherman, James Spann?
Yeah.
I met him yesterday, and he was like, you have a great voice, and it's like, there's no distinct accent. I was like, exactly, that's what I'm saying, because I go anywhere else, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, well, hi to you, too. I'm like, I don't really have that much of an accent, and they're like, I don't have no accent, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, all right.
My mother got asked at the church that they were going to before they adopted us of how they're going to communicate with us, and they're like, what do you mean? Like they're like little, like Anne was literally an infant, and then I was like barely taught, and they're like, well, how are you going to understand them with their accents? And they also asked if they were going to tell us we were adopted, and I'm like, so the alternative is mother had an affair with a very Asian man.
Yeah, people ask me that a lot. They're like, did you like know you were adopted? I was like, well, you know, like, yes, they told me that, but if they had not, I'll put a picture of my parents like on the screen right here so you can see why this is funny. I would have figured it out. Like, you met my parents. My dad, it could be like, he gets mistaken for being Asian or Hispanic a lot, so I could see kind of being a little like, that could be believable, but my mom?
He wouldn't produce this much Asian.
Exactly. Like, there's no way that, like, unless he had, I guess, a biological child with, like, a full, like, Asian woman, but people have seen my mom. Like, she's, like, she's not just white. She's, like, white. Capital W, white. Like,
my mother gets sunburned on rainy days.
Exactly. Yeah, like, we're like, hey, we gotta get in the car, and they're like, okay, let me put my sunscreen on. Like, that's how white they are.
But no, as a child, I think I'm pretty sure my dad told me this. He denies it, but he also denies a lot of things like, you know, the moon landing. I thought everyone was adopted.
Yeah.
Until like first grade, but I also thought everything's made in China.
Oh no.
Because
where's the
toys are made from China, the clothes are made in China, so the children must be made in China.
Okay, alright, I'm following.
And then pregnancy was a disease you got from eating watermelon seeds, and you grew a watermelon in your belly. Because one time I saw like a news thing of like teenage pregnancy on the rise, and something, and I was like, what is the pregnancy? Why is it teenagers? My dad's like, because teenagers are stupid and they keep eating watermelon seeds, and it's a bad thing because they keep having to have surgery to have all the watermelons come out of them. And that's why all the watermelons on sale.
Oh my god. He didn't have to do you like that. It's easier to just tell the truth at that point.
I don't know. I told a teacher, I'm like, I thought you were smart, and she was pregnant, and she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, why do you have a watermelon in your belly?
I thought you were smart. Like, you were supposed to be teaching me the alphabet, but you obviously don't know shit. So, like, what? Oh, that's great. Yeah, I thought a lot of things about, and I think this is a lot of things that, like, people that are not adopted don't understand, is, like, there are a lot of things that they just take for granted. Like, you know, whenever people are like, oh, your mom looks just like you, or this or that, or just knowing things like that. Like, I thought I knew I was Chinese, but I thought I was Hispanic growing up. Like, I thought being Chinese was being Hispanic. Because, like,
to be fair, when we were small children, there were no Asian people.
Exactly.
The only other Asian people were adopted Asian people.
Exactly. So we were all in the same boat. Like, we didn't know. We were like, but yeah, like,
China isn't a real place. It is just where you get food, clothes, and toys, and children.
Exactly. And electronics. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
PlayStations, iPods. I don't know why I said that. Who has had an iPod in the past, like, 10 years? I don't know.
I have one.
Really? Like the Touch?
Like the iPod Nano.
Oh, see, no, those are cool. But the classic iPod Touch, those were revolutionary.
See, no, we found one of them, and we can't figure out whose it was. It does not work. But so we just give it to Everly, and she just thinks it's a little phone for her.
Oh, cute. How fun. I love the childlike joy that babies have. I miss it. I miss being a baby. The thing that sucks the most about it is I don't even remember it. Like, I'm sure I was having a good time.
Yeah, and your parents can't get another one. You're limited edition now.
Exactly, yeah. So we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but they stopped international adoptions in China. How are we feeling about it?
They could have made so much money if they had put the tariffs on before international adoption closed. Like, if they put the tariffs on in, like, 2000 and, like, when you were adopted?
2000.
Yeah, in, like, the 2000, they could have made, like, 60% on a baby that's, like, tens of thousands of dollars. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I should be able to do the math on that, right? I'm Chinese, but 600? If it was $10,000, 60% would be 600, right?
I'm only in 4th grade.
Okay, Google, what's 60% of 10,000?
60% of 10,000 is 6,000.
I was so close.
Does your Google have a cold? Or the flu? The flu is running rampant right now.
Actually, 1,000. She's trying her best, okay? I was so confident. I was like, it's 600.
Did you give your Google COVID?
The China virus.
The China virus. Kung flu. Build a wall.
We did that like centuries ago. Like he's so behind on that. Like build a wall. Like okay, and you know what they did in the China? We've all seen Mulan. They just take the rope and go whoop, and they just climb up. Like, but they made really climbable walls in China. Like,
well, you know the Great Wall of China is filled with dead bodies.
I try not to think about that.
No, it's because the people like building it, I guess, were like. They were bottom tier in society, and when they died, they're like, oh, this is more material for the wall, and they put them in there. So there's like probably hundreds or to thousands of bodies in the Wall of China.
That's horrifying. Does it like smell?
Well, they covered in like clay and brick and whatever.
But like I feel like eventually it would start to like seep through the cracks a little bit, right?
Honey, it's been centuries. Those people are dead.
That's why they smell bad. Like
no,
because they're dead.
They're encased. Honestly, how did they not explode? Because like exploding coffins are a thing.
I have so many questions. Have you been back to China?
No.
Oh, okay. I want to.
They might not let me back.
I'm scared to get on a plane right now, so.
Yeah, with my Tourette's, I often scream bomb and drugs and terrorism when I go on planes. So I
fun.
Yeah, so I wear like I have Tourette's t-shirt and I have like a lanyard.
You got all the Tourette's merch.
Yes.
You come back looking like you went to like see Tourette's live in concert. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I also call like the airport or like TSA, and I do like TSA cares. And I'm like, listen, girl. I have Tourette Syndrome. It's going to be a rough ride for everyone. Let's just get through it. Pray to God. Drink some whiskey. And and so I call TSA and they like, I don't have to wait in line and they like do all the things. They of course have to bomb check me and like they like search my checked and like carry on luggage like pretty through, like they open it and stuff. But I am screaming. I have an AK-47 up my ass. So
they check up your ass too?
I don't know. They probably take a look at my little butt and they're like, no.
There's no AK-47 in there. They run you through the scanner. They're like, well, I'll be damned. There's an AK-47 up in there.
I got all the worst parts being Asian.
Elaborate.
I'm lactose intolerant. Cilantro tastes like soap.
Same.
I have extremely sensitive skin.
Same.
I have Asian flesh when I drink alcohol,
Same.
so I feel like I had the flu. I'm gonna vomit and I look like Bob the tomato from Veggie Tales when I drink, and then I just start singing about the Lord because I'm drunk, and and I'm short.
Same. All right. You're listing all things we have in common. You're like, this sucks, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
I also was born with a birth defect, and I also have a million other health issues that can probably be traced to my birth mother's terrible prenatal care.
Don't know what to say to that. Sorry, man. That's an awful response, but I do not know what to say with that.
I think if I didn't have as much trauma, I wouldn't be as funny.
Shout out to Trauma, because this is the funniest person I've ever met.
This is great. My therapist tells me that every day that I see her. Actually, she says I deflect my being uncomfortable with trauma, but all I hear is I'm funny.
My therapist says the same thing. We might have those. Who do you go to? I'll cut this out.
Crystal?
Crystal Gray?
Yeah.
I got her.
Okay, update. We have the same therapist. And
we're on to you. She's giving us the same advice. She's like, I don't know which one of them's walking in here. They look the same, but I wrote the same shit down for each of them, so.
I don't know. I think there's only one of us that greets her with, hey, meth head.
Well, I'll know next time. Just to really throw her for a loop.
No, because when I first met her, she said, hi, my name's Crystal, and I was really mad and angry teenager, and I was like, oh, like crystal meth. And then my mother slapped me in the head. Like, please be nice to this woman. She has yet to harm you.
Right.
There's still time. And
I'm gonna call her that, but I'm not gonna tell her until like the end of the session that like I know you. Like, because she's just, I'm gonna like say it and then not address it for the whole session.
Oh no, but I love her quite a lot.
Same, yeah. I've been going to her since I was like 16 maybe.
I was 17.
Oh, period. So we've grown up with this woman. Like, yeah, she's moved around a couple times, but I'm like, wherever you go, I will follow. Like, I'm like, if she goes to like Minnesota, I'm there.
But like, I can't start over with a new therapist. She told me she told me like a month ago that like, hey, like in 5 years I'll probably retire, and I was like,
no way.
I was like, girl,
we're gonna show to her house.
I was like, so I only have 5 years to live? My life is over in 5 years. The countdown is now. I'll see you in heaven or hell, whichever one you believe.
2030, I'll see you there. I didn't even know. She didn't tell me that because I guess she knew that I wouldn't be able to handle it.
You think I would?
Oh man, we're in it together.
No, I actually started writing a memoir because I was like, in the event, like in like 5 years, hopefully it will be like at least the first manuscript will be done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so if I ever find a new therapist, I'm just going to give this bitch a book.
Exactly. That's the thing is I'm like, she was there in real time for like most of this stuff. I'm like, I cannot catch up all of this to a new person because it's like, you're supposed to just know that, dude. Like,
see, I originally started making a PowerPoint, but like after the 30th slide, I was like, this is a lot of work.
I have so much respect for people that write books. I like, I just started Adderall, so like everyone my whole life had been like, oh, you totally have ADHD. And I was like, I don't think so. And I was like, but then I went to the doctor and they were like, yes, you do. And I was like, oh, well, I guess everyone was right. But so maybe now I could write a book. I don't know.
I have a laundry list of diagnoses.
Same. Let's just go diagnosis for diagnosis. No, I'm kidding.
No, but I have, like, my main diagnosis, I guess, would be like Tourette Syndrome. And under the Tourette's umbrella is like, of course, the Tourette's Holy Trinity or Unholy Trinity, OCD, ADHD, and tics. And then like mental health, like anxiety, depression, PTSD, that kind of stuff. And then I have a sleep disorder because God just hates me. I was born with a cleft lip. I also have various gastric problems that we have yet to diagnose. Anything else? I'm a robot.
Slay. All right. Can you go over what the Tourette's umbrella is? Because I have not heard of that.
Like, Tourette syndrome has comorbidities, and comorbidities is basically like buy one, get 15. And so if you have Tourette's, you're more likely to have OCD and ADHD. Almost everyone with Tourette's has a combination of those.
Okay.
And then additionally, you also are prone to anxiety, depression, autism, sensory processing disorder, sleep disorder. Also, like POTS and EDS, I'm not sure are like correlated, but there's a large occurrence of those. And then also like gastric health is pretty common problem, but it's also that could be born out of the anxiety, and because your anxiety lives in your stomach, that's why I puke when I'm anxious. And then like sleep disorders, like if you're ticking all the time, it's going to be hard to fall asleep. ADHD also, if you just have ADHD, you're also more likely to have a sleep disorder. Combine them both, you're guaranteed trouble sleeping. And then Tourette's also comes with a lot of chronic pain because you're like, I do this like 5,000 times a day, it's going to hurt your neck eventually. And then in my case, I had one of the most severe cases of Tourette's that my neurologist at Vanderbilt had ever seen. And so, like, I've had, like, 12 concussions. I probably have some things related to that.
What is that noise?
You're haunted.
Jelly?
Jelly roll?
Jelly roll's here?
Jelly roll. My man.
I'm going to assume that's not somebody trying to break in, because I feel like they wouldn't be doing it that quietly if they were. They're like, let me in. Let me in. I think we're fine. Anyways, all right, continue.
But, so I've, like, had 12 concussions, which is quite a lot. I think I'm going to stop at 12.
It's a nice, like, you know, you have the 12 disciples, you have the 12 days of Christmas. It's a nice, like, 12.
And like, you know, like I've like bruised my sternum to where they were scared it was going to break, so we taped a pillow to my chest. Or I've like bruised a couple ribs. I've busted both my hands.
Oh my goodness.
I punched through drywall. That's a real fun trick.
Did he just get food out of his automatic feeder on his own? Keep talking. I'm gonna go check on this cat.
This is why I don't have cats, and this is why they are delicious.
I guess it's time to feed this cat. It's not, but he's not going to let me be a content creator unless I do. So, alright, just keep...
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. No. Wait, what is the...
No one cares for you, a smidge, when you're in an orphanage.
We were both in orphanages.
Yeah, no one cared for us a smidge. They didn't give a fuck.
Actually, I was malnourished for like the first year of life.
Really?
Because my orphanage didn't have special cleft bottles for like the special needs children's, even though it was in the special needs orphanage, and the cleft bottles were probably made down the road in the sweatshop, but they can't do that for the orphans.
I did not ever think about like cleft lips having a special type of bottle.
Yeah, no, it's like a longer like nipple on the bottle and stuff. So, but like you can't nurse when you have a cleft, and if you have a cleft palate and a cleft lip, if you like eat the wrong way, it will go straight to your lungs.
Oh my god, I did not know that. There's a difference between a cleft lip and a cleft palate?
Yeah, so I had cleft lip and gum line, so my lip was cut and was split, and my gum line was split. The palate is the roof of your mouth. Mine stopped after my gum line, so my roof of my mouth was fine.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know anything. But that's why I started doing this project. You know, I think it's good to, when you don't know things, it's good to have conversations and learn things. I think more people should do that.
I don't know. I'm on the diversity panel coming up at Shenanigans.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's just because I'm a 20-sided dice of diversity.
They're like, we could hire one from every minority or get someone that's in all of them. And then there you go. Like,
yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
No,
like,
I'm a woman, immigrant, disabled,
yeah, they got
Chinese.
Yeah, literally.
Ugly. Like, it's all there. It's all there. I'm a DEI.
Yeah, they're like, we're cutting back our DEI budget, so we only have room for one. So who has the most qualifications?
I honestly wonder if that's how I got hired at my current job.
I don't think so. I think, do you want to share what your current job is?
Yeah, no, I'm a paraprofessional at Decatur City Schools. I think they were just desperate for anyone because
it's a hard job.
Well, it's not necessarily a living wage and stuff, and it's because most parents have like a spouse or something,
yeah,
and they're like, you know, they're just wanting, I don't know, and less money, and
so you mean they're mostly women, is what you're saying? You're like, they have spouses and they want less money. Like, who does that sound like?
I don't know.
It's not men.
I know a lot of gold diggers. So like, people want money, but it's also like parents don't have to do like lesson planning, talking to parents. Like, you know, when I go to work and leave, I don't have any work when I get home. I do go a little, I'm just an extra person, so I do a lot of extra stuff, but that's like also my choice.
Right. Nice. Yeah, I used to do that at a high school. So you do 4th grade.
I do 4th grade right now.
Yeah, very different experience, but we have some shared experience there.
Yeah, no, I assume you didn't have to make a shirt with 100 googly eyes glued to it.
No, can't say I did.
One little 1st grader who, like, I don't really know her, but like she was like, your shirt scares me, and I'm like, why? And she's like, they're all looking at me, and I went like this, and she's like, good, and walked away.
Biblically accurate angel shirt? Like, what was that?
No, it was just a bunch of googly eyes stuck to a shirt.
Was it just like 100 days of school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
And And she's like, good. And I'm like, little first grader, I don't even know your name.
They do that. They'll just come up to you and say the most random thing and then just disappear like they never were there. It's crazy.
I know. I wrote a song, like a comedy song, with quotes from students I've heard thus far.
Nice.
Like, are you a boy or a girl? Is this chicken feet? No, it's the boobs. When I get home, I'm going to go eat my neighbor's chicken. Is this English? No, it's cursive. You cut your hair. I don't like it. Can you change it back? Did you mean to look like a boy?
Yeah, one time the worst one for me was this. I had dyed my hair blonde, and it was like, have you done it? Have you dyed your hair blonde ever?
I've never dyed my hair ever.
Don't do it. Like, Asian hair is so hard to, like, once you dye it blonde, like, it starts just, like, falling apart. It's not great. But my hair was all breaking up at the top. I would, like, try to smooth it down, whatever. This girl comes up, she's like, Miss Thornberry. I was like, what? And she goes, why is all your hair breaking off on the top? And I was like, go sit down. Go sit down. Yeah, another time, a kid was like, comes up, just pats my belly and goes, oh, and you have a baby in there. And I said, no, I don't.
Are these high schoolers?
No, they're elementary school. That would be, no, these were like first graders. And this kid looks at me and goes, are you sure? I was like, go sit down.
So there is one sweet little baby boy in first grade who I absolutely love. And he is constantly, he's the one who asks, like, he always asks, are you a boy or girl? Or, like, when I had my haircut, he
asks multiple times. He needs to get to the bottom of this.
He asks, like, almost every day.
In case it changes.
Yeah. But, so there was a 5th grade teacher who, like, we just mess around and joke and stuff. I'm a comedian. She's a wannabe. No, she's just I find her very funny. I mess with her constantly because that's the only joy in life I have.
Period.
And so
gotta take it where you can find it.
And anyway, so I have like a little cart that I roll around school with like my supplies and stuff because I don't have like a classroom or like a desk or anything, and I roll it around, and she like acted that as if she was going to push it, and I was like, I'm gonna tell on you. And like this little kid who was like in line on the wall, he said, don't worry, I'll tell Miss Batts, who's the principal or the assistant principal and stuff.
He had your back.
But no, he like came up to me and was like, don't worry.
Oh, he had your back. Men's got shooters out here.
I love this baby boy. No, because because I work with, as a parent, you only work with special education students. Like the special education students who like are in like my students' classroom, because I'm 1-to-1, like a lot of them really like me, and I'm like, I said to my sped teacher, I was like, I think I could like rally the troops with these kids, like they'll do anything. And she's like, I'm not sure that's the troops you want.
It's like the Pied Piper, but with babies, like Doofenshmirtz said.
I don't know. They could only use direct orders. One-step directions.
I mean, same, honestly. Like, you give me 2 or 3, I'm like, nah. 1, got it. 2, 3, not happening. Like,
yeah.
1 at a time. Same thing with the GPS when it's like, at the light, turn right, and then I'm like, don't even, like, and then what? Like, I don't know.
See, I turned the talker person off, and I just look at the picture.
Yeah, I can't I need it to cue me in, because otherwise I'll just space out and then be like, oh, it keeps rerouting me. And I'm like, oh, it's just like I keep missing my turn. Like,
you're so Asian.
Good luck, everybody else.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, speaking of being super Asian, that the open mic you're going to, last time I was there, I accidentally hit my ex with my car.
Who was your ex?
Well, he was. I'm kidding. He's alive. His name is Lucas, but he's not like involved in like any of that. He was there because I was playing music, and then there was the open mic, and then there was the racism, and then there was the hitting my ex in the car. Like all like boom, boom, boom. Then
was this the night the owner threatened to beat Alex up?
No, that was the next week. It's always a fun time. Yeah. Oh, there's another Asian. I can invite Alex on. Okay. I have 3 Asians.
All right, so we have Zoe, Min, Alex.
Who else is Asian and wants to talk to me?
I mean, Anna would just like company, probably. She just spends her time with a 1.5-year-old.
We get Everly on. We're like, what's your...
Oh, yeah, Everly. You know, she's half.
Yeah,
She's a half-blood.
Yeah, she's Asian.
We're pure blood.
Yeah. Have you done 23andMe? I just did mine.
Yeah, no.
I have 98% more Neanderthal DNA than most of their customers.
I am a descendant of Genghis Khan.
You win! You win with the Asian stuff. That's what you want, right? Is to win. Yeah, okay, that's crazy. See, I was worried that would come up because, like, most people are. Like, in China. Well,
it's because he just, like, seduced women.
He was on a mission. Like...
Honestly, I'm like, he should have been shooting blanks, like, at some point, but he kept shooting them.
I know, shoot or shoot, literally. Yeah, the only, like, historical match that I had that was relevant was, like, I have, like, 0.06% similar DNA with, like, a Mayan sacrifice victim. That's not as cool as Genghis Khan, like...
I don't know.
I'm like,
I don't know.
What are you even doing in Mexico, man? Like, how'd you get there?
My sister and I, like, got a 23andMe, I think as, like, a Christmas gift or something from my mother. And my dad was like, this is the stupidest crap. I can tell you what you are. And then it came back, I'm 100% Chinese. Anna's 99.7 Chinese, and, like, the other is Mongolian or something. And my dad's like, I could have told you this.
Yeah, most of the things in there are like, yeah, like it was like you're lactose intolerant. I was like, yeah. And
I love dairy.
See, yeah, people ask me a lot because I've been vegan for a long time. They're like, do you not miss cheese? I'm like, no. I miss salmon and crab legs sometimes. But like cheese, I'm like, that was ruining my life. Like I can't do that. I can't keep doing that to myself.
See, I choose to suffer every day for the moments of joy that it gives me.
I mean, but like, why? Like, what are you gonna gain from it?
I don't know. I also don't have a gallbladder, because they had to take out my gallbladder.
Okay.
And I may or may not be a little, like, gluten sensitive, so, like, obviously, my favorite food is, like, macaroni and cheese, which is gluten covered in dairy.
You might as well just eat a bomb at that point. Like, come on, man.
I also have really severe acid reflux. I had GERD. I have GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease. I was diagnosed when I was 5. So I really like cheese pizza, which is, like, gluten covered in tomatoes, which are very high in acid.
Yeah.
And then dairy.
You would probably be safe for eating, like, a bottle of cyanide. Like, that's crazy. I get it, though.
Cyanide is one of my favorite, that's related to one of my favorite mysteries.
Oh, no.
The Tylenol poison.
Okay, yes. Okay. I was like, am I about to get freaked out by something? Because I get so freaked out when I hear about new crimes. But if it's one of the ones I already knew about, I'm like, okay. That's so scary.
No, like, it was, like, the end of the world. Because, like, they literally had, like, megaphones on top of cars, and they were saying, if you have Tylenol, throw it away. There have been poisoning. It is cyanide. 7 people have died, and they just, like, drove through the streets of Chicago.
Like Paul Revere?
Yes, like
Tylenol's coming.
Yeah. But, the, like, people who, like, invented Tylenol as, like, or the company who, like, is it Johnson? I don't know shit. I have no clue.
I get confused between
Was it
that
Bayer?
and SC Johnson. A family company.
What?
You know, like SC Johnson, a family company. It's different than Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, no, the Johnson & Johnson's, like, Band-Aids.
How do you know that?
Because I watch history documentaries to fall asleep.
Nice, yeah.
And then I absorb it through osmosis.
Documentaries keep me up. I can't watch them at night.
I also watch true crime to fall asleep, and I can confidently say I can attempt to hide a body.
Yeah, well, that concludes this show. Get out! But yeah, the Tylenol murders. That's terrifying.
But honestly, it came up with something incredibly useful. Oh, so because of the Tylenol murders, they put like the seal on the over-counter like pill bottles. Like, you know how
They didn't have them before?
No, they didn't, and that's how they got away with it. So that's the tamper-proof seal. They did it to Tylenol, and then they moved into doing it with like food products and all that other stuff, which of course inherently makes the food safer.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it ended with a good result. I'm really sorry for the 7 victims.
Yeah,
and
they should have been
families.
doing that already. I feel like I didn't know that wasn't already a
but
thing.
no one had they had never had a problem with it before. Like it was never a thing, and a lot of people have a hard time putting themselves in like other people's shoes,
Right.
especially if it's like a negative thing, like people like who like murder or something or like steal or something. Like, I could never do that, blah blah blah. Well, you're not in their shoes and
That's a really
stuff,
good
and you
point.
don't have their reality. And so that's why a lot of things take tragedies to be able to change them.
That was profound.
I know a lot of useless information that I
That
can't.
was useful. No, that was good.
It's not useful in the fact that I'm still broke.
Same.
Just a poor Asian, just living life.
If you want to spare any change for 2 immigrants, 2 women of color just trying to make it in this world, Venmo me. We'll split the
See,
profits.
so someone called me a POC, which means like person of color.
Yeah.
I, because my hearing's a little off because I have sensory processing, so I didn't necessarily process. I heard POS.
I have auditory processing disorder, so I feel that. Like, sometimes I just switch it and I'm like,
no,
what?
this was like a coworker at school.
You were like, a what?
No, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you. What? And this coworker also like knows sign language, so it was like POC, and I was like,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I didn't understand. I thought POS.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good segue into my next thing. Okay, so we both know a little ASL. Not fluent. I'm learning. It's great though. I think there's this like idea that like only like deaf people should, and like this is like hearing people perpetuating this narrative that like they're like, oh, I don't need to learn ASL because I don't know anyone that's deaf. Like, well, it's still a language that you can still just like learn it, you know. But I feel like there's not a lot of conversation about how helpful it is for people with other, like, you know.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend that like she is very like, I don't know that she's fluent, but like she's been signing for a really long time. So she's like, if she's not fluent, she's close. And anytime I mishear her, same thing, the finger spelling, like she's like, okay, like let me spell it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really like sign language when used in special education, and so like, you know, as someone who works with a lot of special education kids, and it's not any of my kids, it's just things I have seen through the district, but like, you know, there's like kids with like autism or selective mutism, or like there's like a kid with a trachea can hear you, well, not obviously, sometimes.
Yeah.
But like maybe they can't communicate verbally or something, and like, you know, they are really pushing like AAC devices, but that is just like a little bit of a hassle. And sign language, if you know, are able to do sign language, is something you can never lose, and is knowledge.
Right.
And you also gain a really good community. Like, I love deaf history.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know a lot of deaf history. I took ASL 1 with my teacher was Jaylee. I have no idea how to say their last name. At Shenanigans, and I plan to try to like complete all courses in ASL. Not in hopes of like being fluent, but like I want to be able to hold a conversation and like follow conversation when like, you know, like at a deaf coffee chat or something.
Yeah. Do you go to deaf events?
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah. Are you going to the one on the 7th?
Oh my gosh, we should go to our therapist at the same time.
We should go in and try to like, you know, whenever you're like, I wish I had a twin so we could switch places for a day. Like, you go whenever it's my appointment.
Yeah.
I'll go when it's your, you just act like you're me. Like,
I don't know. They know me. They know me very well. But also, like, you're not the first person I know who has the same therapist. I know, like,
a lot of people, yeah.
No, I know there was, like, a guy at Current.
Yeah.
An old wise lesbian at my church.
Okay. Everyone goes to the same therapist, man, because there's, like, 4 of them that are, like,
Worth it.
yeah, literally. Like, a lot of it's, like, excuse me. A lot of it's like, yeah, I'm a Christian therapist, and they have, like, no certification, no education. You're like, so you're a preacher. Like, they're like, no, it's Christian therapy. I'm like, where did you go to school? And they're like, church with the Lord. I'm like, no, like, what?
What certifications are you? The love of Christ.
Literally, like, this is my ministry. I'm like, fuck your ministry. Where's your degree? Like,
No, I believe you can love Jesus and you still use a therapist. I talk about Jesus quite a lot, actually, in therapy. Yeah. I was like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Take it from my hands.
Or my favorite joke right now is, like, when people, like, say, oh, like, Jesus Christ, like and I say, He's my Lord and Savior.
Oh my God.
I did that to Justin at Current, and he literally, like, shots coffee out of his nose or something. I have no clue.
I love
Justin. It was a great, I feel like a great bonding moment, and I think I brought him closer to God. because he wanted to die.
If you're listening to this and you're in North Alabama, you should go to Current. They keep changing their damn name.
Current Coffee and Collectibles, right?
It's Nerd Cafe now. It's Current Nerd Cafe. It's, you know, it depends on the day, but at the time of this recording, it is Current Nerd Cafe.
Okay, as someone who's somewhat probably autistic, I've never been diagnosed, but also their clientele is full of autistic people.
If you're neurodivergent.
Why would they keep changing things? Like, his neurodivergent people historically hate change. Why do you keep changing things? They rearranged. I hated it. It's been like a couple months and I'm just now getting used to it. And then I walk in today, they moved something for an event and I was like, this is horrible.
Every time I go in there, the menu, the furniture, and the name have changed. But y'all should still go. If you're in North Alabama, if you're not in North Alabama, you should get in your car and go. That's so good.
If you go, please advocate for them to bring back my chair.
I don't know anything about this. But yeah, bring back Min's chair. That's my activism for the month. I don't know what I'm advocating for, but I'm advocating for it.
No, they one of the chairs I really liked just got old, and so they got a new one. But I'm a little salty.
Damn, Shawty. Did they not offer to give it to you and keep it there for you behind the register?
I don't know. I'm salty, probably because I bleed soy sauce or something. But if I get real angry, I bleed sriracha. I'm just testing out jokes because I got an open mic after this, and I'm just testing out jokes.
They're all good. They're all great. They're all about being Asian and adopted. I love it. My favorite one is the one where you're like, I'll let you tell it, but it's the one where you're like, your parents don't want you, but mine did. That one.
Oh,
okay.
so this actually was one of my first, like, real jokes that I, like, created. And it was because I was, like, in 3rd or 4th grade. And, like, kids kept making fun of me for, like, being Asian and being adopted. The drama teacher then played the movie Annie. And they were like, oh, it's great. And then
this is a canon event.
And then they realized my dad was not Daddy Warbucks, and he did not have Daddy Warbucks money. He did have a little bit more hair at the time. Now he looks a little bit more like Warbucks. And stuff, and then they just went back to making fun of me, and my dad was like, well, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I knew now that sex is what made babies. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But
I knew there was something happening.
Yeah, no. And so, like, on the playground or something, like, a kid was like, your parents didn't love you, that's why they threw you away like trash. And I'm like, my parents did love me because they flew across the world to get me. Your parents just had sex.
Period.
But like, I was 4th grade, so it was probably like 9, 10.
Yeah.
I didn't know what sex was. I had just learned that kids aren't bought from China.
Right. Well, not all kids are bought from China. We were, but
Temu.com.
use my promo code.
Oh my gosh, if we could get some promo codes, get some Asian babies over here.
I know, yeah. We should. But yeah, all right.
Oh no, my mom was I think my mom just wanted Asian babies, not to have her children. I think she just wanted Asian babies because she was so excited when Everly was born, and she's like, oh my, she's like a doll, and I'm like, you know she's a person, right? And she's like, no, she's a little doll.
She's an angel, not a person, an angel.
I don't know. She is like the first niece, like granddaughter.
So she's living large.
She knows she's cute, and she knows when she walks in a room and it's just the family or whatever, the world revolves around her.
That's how I was. I remember she should live it up while she can, because if another baby gets born, your whole life gets ruined. Like my cousins are all like way younger than me, so except for Chandler, but she's like a distant cousin. But like, yeah, I remember whenever everyone started having other babies, I was like, what is going on? Like I was the first everything, first niece, first grandchild, whatever. Who are you people?
Yeah, so my sister learned this lesson much faster than my parents, so made one less mistake. That Asian babies are expensive, so I think we're stopping at Everly.
There you have it.
But no, it took two tries, and then my parents got me and like, no more.
They looked at the bank account and they were like, yeah, two is great. I'm back again. All right. See, I don't know. It times out after 30 minutes, and it's so inconvenient because if you're talking, then it's just like, no, you're not. But I still got the audio, so it'll just be black for a second.
White people must have made this.
It's a Canon, though. I feel like those are definitely made in. Let's see if my Google will act right. Okay, Google, where are Canon cameras made?
On the website Global, Canon, they say, Japan. Canon has many key production facilities in Japan, including several designated mother factories that provide a template for Canon facilities around the world.
Mother factories, that's crazy.
The motherland.
The mother factories.
The mother
wild.
factories. Man, but they're in China. They're not from the homeland, or they're from Japan. They're not from the homeland.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Man, that's why they're so expensive. They actually pay their labor.
I actually bought this lens on Facebook from your sister because I couldn't afford to buy it new.
I don't know. Anna is a really good like entrepreneur, like small business stuff, and I'm like, she got all the good Asian things. Like, she doesn't get that Asian flush.
Really?
She loves cilantro. Like, it's fine. She can drink milk.
I like cilantro, but it does taste like soap to me.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I like it, though.
Oh, that's still weird. Like, she's, she's not fat. She wasn't born with a birth defect. She has an adorable child, and she's, like, smart with money.
Can't relate.
And she's been in far less wrecks than I have.
How many wrecks have you been in?
I had 3 in 1 week.
I thought you were going to say a year, and I was like, that's a lot. A week?
I was having a
Get
rough...
this woman off the roads.
I was having a rough time.
Yeah, so was everyone else on the road. I'm suspending your license myself. You were under citizen's arrest. You are not good to operate behind a wheel.
In my defense, I was not given a proper driver's test.
Well, we're in Alabama. You just have to drive your football coach to Chick-fil-A and back.
No, see, I literally drove the block around the courthouse and then parked, and they said I was good to go. Like, there was no stoplights. I only had to turn right. Like, that was my... And guess what? It was the same test my cousin did. She failed that test.
It's so hard to fail the Alabama driver's
Well,
test.
she didn't put the car in reverse, and she just drove forward. And then she like put the car in park and was like, is the test over? And they're like, yeah. And
You're like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, no, you're done. And then she had to retake it and stuff. And oddly enough, that is the cousin that I'm closest to. And I think it's because we match each other's energy of like, I'm going places. I might not get there safely, but I'll get there.
It's exactly how my cousin Chandler and I are cousins that cannot drive. Like, they're like this.
I don't know. I don't think Anna is a very good driver. She hides it a lot better than I do.
Alright. I've never been in the car with Anna.
Count your blessings.
Everyone always hits deer, and I don't understand. Like, I have driven in, like, the country, and I've seen them. I've seen them drive in front of my car. But, like, there's this big thing in the middle of, like, where your feet are at. It's called a brake, and you just kind of touch it, and the car stops. I don't know.
See, my grandfather once hit a deer and then grabbed a shotgun, shot it, and put it in the back.
I mean, at that point, that's just being sustainable. What was gonna? You could either leave it there and it's gonna rot, or you could feed your family.
He was channeling his inner Asian.
Exactly.
The Asian people are known for eating literally everything.
And you know, I hate when people are racist about it, because I'm like, listen, if you're gonna eat a cow and then judge someone else for eating a dog, what's the difference? Like, obviously I know there's a difference between a cow and a dog, but like, it's the same like vibe, you know?
Dogs
That's
are tastier.
That's just that's just a guy walking around on 4 legs just vibing. Like, it's the same thing, but it's not. But like, I'm like, they're like, they eat dogs and cats. I'm like, and you eat pigs. Like, okay.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and
Dogs and rats and dogs and rats and dogs and rats and
boots and cats.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I am famous. I'm in a video that has 1.7 million views.
Wait, what video is that?
It's a Samuel J. Comroe video.
Oh my goodness.
So Samuel J. Comroe is a comedian who has Tourette Syndrome. I've gone to several of his shows. He has posted every time I've been in been to a show with a clip of my voice. Obviously, it's like on him, so you don't see me.
Yeah.
It's just my voice. But like the first comedy show, I didn't necessarily warn him that I was coming. I didn't think to. And my Tourette's was very vocal, and I was like, there was a very drunk woman, and I was like, and she was like, it's my friend Carolyn's birthday, and she knows everyone in Huntsville. And like
I've seen this.
Yeah, and then I was like, happy fucking birthday, bitch.
I didn't know that was you.
Yeah,
you are famous. I've seen that.
Yeah, and then like, you know, he did a thing of like, oh, you have Tourette's, get out, and stuff. And I'm like, I love you. And he's like, get the fuck out of here, you know, because when people with Tourette's get together, it amps up the tics. That's like a phenomenon called like echolalia, echophenomenon generally. And so it's like when you yawn, it causes other people to yawn. It's basically the same concept, but with Tourette syndrome.
Really? I didn't know that.
And then there was, I went to a show in Atlanta with a bunch of friends who had Tourette syndrome, who I met through my Tourette's camp and stuff. And I like called the comedy club, and I was like, because I had messaged Sam on Instagram because I'm a comedian and he's a comedian, so I asked for advice intermittently as needed. And I called the comedy club, and I was like, hey, we have like 9 people with Tourette syndrome that want to come see the show. And she's like, I know how Tourette's works, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I like laid out like the accommodations and expectations. I disclosed that I was a comedian and stuff. She's like, oh, so you're the leader? And I'm like, I guess I am.
That I am.
And we went to the show. It was a great show. He was really nice about it. When we went to that show, guess what? There was an entirely different group of people with Tourette's that we didn't know.
Oh my god.
With like 7 people. We had 9 people. They had 7.
Oh, you were outnumbered.
But we're 9.
Oh, I can't do fucking math. You're the 9. Okay, they're 7.
We had 9.
They're outnumbered.
We had 9 people. They had 7. But the thing
You
is,
said we're 9.
but like, the thing is, they sat us on the other side of this comedy theater, and so like they're ticking off the walls. They're really close to the stage. We sat more in the back just because we were trying to be a little bit more like, if we need to take a break, we can leave and it not be that big of a deal and stuff. But we hear them, we're ticking off them, and then this man is just trying to do his job, and we're just fucking it up for him. And then he came to Huntsville again, and he like did a joke where he was like, because I said roll tide bitch, which is actually a very common tic. Generally, I usually say just roll tide. I did have a bit to drink that night, and so when alcohol generally amps up my Tourette's slightly, which is explains why when I do comedy, my Tourette's is slightly more cursy. But he was like, I was like, roll tide, bitch, and he was like, I need you to do one at the end of my set and stuff, and I'm going to point to you, and you say it, and you're going to kill it. It's going to be a beautiful moment. We're going viral on TikTok. Don't do anything else. Don't be like, ooh, that's how the cookie crumbles, or drink milk, or something, and stuff. And then when at the end of the show, he pointed at me, and I was like, call me Alabama. And it was of course he now is yelling at me on stage and making a big deal. But the thing is, my mom and I both think, and I really think that he set it up to be like, I'm not going to say the right thing, because anyone with Tourette's knows you can't, if you tell someone to take something, they will do the opposite kind of thing. And the way he just amped up, like, don't say this, don't do this, don't fuck it up, this is your big moment, like that kind of thing. I think he was just put a little extra sauce on that to just guarantee it. And also his reaction was very of course he turned, laughed, and then he knew he wasn't stumbling on his words. If it had been more of an organic moment, I think he was slightly prepared.
Yeah.
Probably for it to go either way, but he probably had a guess of which way to go. And also it's I don't think he's going to just do that to a random person with Tourette's, because there were also every other person with Tourette's in Huntsville apparently came to this comedy show. There's 10 people. None of us knew each other.
Yeah.
And so but it's he knows, one, I'm a comedian. He's also we've seen each other in person 4 times at this point. I've messaged him and stuff, asking advice as a comedian and things, and so I'm 100% sure he would not just do that to a random person with Tourette's, but because it's me, and also I'm hilarious.
You are.
Although
it's true.
Although he did say you did it, you're on the tour, and I have yet to see any tour invites.
What's his name again?
Samuel J. Comro.
All right, Samuel J. Comro. We're waiting.
Yeah.
I'm inviting myself into this.
He was on America's Got Talent.
Oh, okay.
He was top 8 or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he was amazing. I've watched him since I was diagnosed.
Okay.
Because I looked up Tourette's and he came up.
When were you diagnosed?
I was 12.
Okay.
And his comedy, at 12 was also very I dealt with things with saying jokes and things. May or may not be due to trauma. We will never know. Actually, I know. So I deal with things with comedy and stuff. I was so depressed and oh my god, this is the end of my life. And then I saw him and I'm oh, I can do this. An idiot can do it. And
I'm catching a stray for no reason.
No, but I was oh, I can, this isn't the end of my world. And
yeah, that's
also,
amazing.
and also I've seen his wife. She's hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the beginning of my life. You're
I know, and his children are adorable.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They do cooking things, and I'm the amount of love I have for these children that I don't know is so immense.
I feel that. All right, I think we'll wrap it up here. If there's anything
I talk quite a lot.
That's good though, because that means I can just let somebody else come on here do all the talking, and then I get all the fame. All right. I have 12 listeners.
So long, farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.